Hello, this is Candy with eyes2jesus.blogspot.com, and welcome as I give you the tour of my 2021 planner setup. Now, each January when I give my planner tour, I like to give a very detailed tour, quite a bit more detailed than the monthly tours that I give. So what am I in for 2021? You know, in the last few months of the year 2020, I went back into Franklin Covey classic size planning for a bit. That's half letter size. And then I tried out a new size planner I've never been in before, and that is Franklin Covey pocket size. So what have I decided on and what am I in? Let me show you. This is a planner that I'm going into that I have started 2021 in. This is a Franklin Covey ring planner, and this is in their size pocket. Now, Franklin Covey pocket size is different than pocket sizes in a lot of the other planner companies. Dooney and Burke, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know brands and companies very well, but I've noticed that from what I've seen on some sort of sale on eBay when I was looking at pocket planners, that their pocket size planners seem to be the same size and interchangeable with the Franklin Covey pocket size planners. Other than that, I haven't found any other companies yet that do the same size pocket size as Franklin Covey. Most companies, when they say they're selling a pocket size planner, I'm going to show you what they mean. So I just have a bunch of stuff off here next to me. This is pocket size in most planner companies, and put these side by side, you can see there is quite a bit of difference here. This pocket size, this is a Filofax pocket size Malden, and this pocket size is A7 size. The Franklin Covey pocket size is not A7 size. The Franklin Covey pocket size is bigger than A7, but it is smaller than A6. However, it uses A6 rings, but the pages that fit inside the A6 rings are smaller. So it does not use A7 rings, it uses A6 rings, but it uses pages that are a bit smaller than A6. So when I say I'm in pocket size, I'm not talking about A7. This is a bit too small for me. I am talking about Franklin Covey pocket size, which uses A6 rings but pages that are smaller than A6 page size. So just to give you a comparison here on some of the planner sizes here, you can see the A7 pocket size versus the Franklin Covey pocket size. And then we have personal size. This is a Daytimer Malibu. The Malibus have been discontinued, which in my opinion is one of the biggest mistakes Daytimer has made. But this is a Daytimer Malibu. They call it the portable size. Filofax and a lot of the other companies call it personal size. They're the same thing. And the size type of rings in here are the same type of rings that are in Franklin Covey compact size. So here is a personal size planner next to the Franklin Covey pocket size planner. So you can see the Franklin Covey pocket size is smaller. Now also, I am going to grab a Franklin Covey compact size just to show you a quick comparison. Alright, so this is a Franklin Covey compact size. It can fit personal size paper. However, Franklin Covey compact size paper is a bit wider than personal size, but not as wide as personal wide. So, to compare personal size or portable size, same thing, and Franklin Covey compact size, they take the same rings, they have the same whole configuration, but the Franklin Covey compact size is wider than personal or portable size. So that's the big difference there. So this is a Franklin Covey compact size. So when you go down from a Franklin Covey compact size into a Franklin Covey pocket size, this is how much you're going down. The pocket size is a bit shorter and it is more narrow. So here they are side by side. And then you have the Franklin Covey classic size. I don't really go into A5 size, but this is similar to A5, but it's a different ring configuration and a slightly different page dimension. Classic size is a 7-ring system instead of a 6-ring system, and classic size literally takes a half a sheet of regular letter size paper. So this is a Franklin Covey Anna, and if you want classic size, or really any of the sizes of Anna, last I checked, is available in all the sizes. I have it in classic and pocket. I love the Anna. It is amazing. So comparing a Franklin Covey classic size to a Franklin Covey pocket size, it's a pretty massive difference. So the pocket size dimension-wise is a bit shorter and smaller than even a Filofax or a daytime or personal or portable size. And it fits wonderfully in my purse. As to where portable and personal size, sometimes could be just slightly a bit long for some of my purses, and I'd have to kind of wiggle them in there or sit them in there like that and hope my purse was tall enough to handle it. This is fitting in my purse, drops right in. I still have room in my purse if I need to throw anything extra in there when I'm out doing my thing, and it is great, and it is so light. So I'm going to give you, like I said, a detailed tour of my planner setup. Now, I got this off of eBay. It's in new condition. This is a genuine leather Franklin Covey pocket size planner binder. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a turn lock closure, which I am enjoying because snap closures, magnet closures, slip tab closures, they all eventually come open at some point in my purse when I'm out doing my thing and running errands. And a lock, a turn lock closure like this, it stays closed in my purse. It can't open up. So that's fabulous. I have seen when I do Google image searches on turn lock planners, it also brings up a lot of Coach planners that had turn lock as well. So between Coach and Franklin Covey, I don't know any other planners that have or that have ever offered the turn lock closure system. Some others may have, and I just didn't see them. But Franklin Covey did for a while offer turn lock closure systems. I have a pocket size turn lock closure, her point of view planner as well. And then I have this one. These are the only turn lock ones I've had, but I have seen many pictures of turn lock Franklin Covey planners online over the years. So they are out there. Now, this one was amazing because it came with 1-inch rings. Now, 1-inch diameter rings is pretty big for pocket size. I mean, it's even nice for personal size. But I would have liked to have gotten even bigger rings in here. This has a nice big spine. It can take bigger rings. It has a nice footprint. So I looked around on eBay, various different websites, and I couldn't find any pocket-sized Franklin Covey planners that came with bigger than 1-inch rings. And a lot of them were 7/8 inch or even a half of an inch. So just finding it with 1 inch was quite a feat. So I looked around on Amazon to see if I could find A6 rings that were bigger. Because remember, the Franklin Covey pocket size takes the same size rings that A6 planners take. And I found something. I got a 2-pack of rings. It was $5.25 per ring, and you had to buy them in 2s. So for like $10.50, I got 2 30mm A6 size rings from Moterm via Amazon. And 30mm rings is just shy of 1.25 inches. And if you've swapped up bigger rings before, you know 1.25 inches is considerably more room than 1 inch. So let me show you a comparison. This is a 1-inch A6 rings that came in that planner. This is a set of A6 30mm rings, which is almost 1.25 inches. So if I put them side by side, look at how much more room I have gained. So the 30mm, almost 1.25 inches, considerably bigger than the 1 inch. So I popped those in there. Now you might be wondering, well, how did I get Moterm brand A6 rings into Franklin Covey pocket size planner? Well, it came with your standard Moterm screws, because you know Moterm planners also have removable rings, as do most but not all Franklin Coveys. The thing is, Moterms go in there with your standard flathead screws. I actually have a few that are Phillips as well. So, but these These came with flathead screws. You can see I didn't use them, but my other set of these 30mm rings are in my pocket-sized planner. It's because the holes where the screws go in, if I put them side by side, the holes are in the exact same spot. And that's the only important thing. That means the holes on this will line up in the spine of my Franklin Covey binder that came with these smaller rings. And what you do when you change out rings is when you change out rings, you don't keep the screws with the rings. The rings generally don't have threads in the holes. It's just a hole in there, okay? So it doesn't matter which screws you put through the rings, it's just a hole. There's no threads on the hole. The threads are in the spine of the binder. So when you change out rings, you keep the screws with the binder. You don't have the same rings and the same screws staying together. The screws stay with the binder. You only change out the rings. So what I did was I took out the 1-inch rings, and then I kept the screws that came in this binder to screw in these almost 1.25" rings. And Franklin Covey removable rings does not use flathead screws or Phillips screws like Moterm. They use hex screws. So you can get yourself, this is a standard Allen wrench, and it's size 2. And then you just use this to screw in and take out the hex screws, and then you can change out the rings. Takes 30 seconds, or less. It's pretty dang fast and easy. So that's what I did. I got bigger rings in here. So I see a lot of people online with pocket-sized planners, and they put in 30mm rings. But usually they're doing it with the little A7 size planners and putting in the 30mm rings. Now Filofax, especially in the Malden, the rings are not removable. Usually Filofax rings are not removable unless you're going to actually alter the planner, which I've seen people do. But like Moterm does A7 pocket size, and Moterm also sells A7 30mm rings, and I've seen them on Amazon. Problem is, when you put the 30mm rings into the Moterm A7 pocket size, you get overhang and you might not even be able to close your strap. But when I put the 30mm A6 rings into the Franklin Covey pocket size, it fits in here just fine. Now, this could vary because different Franklin Covey planner binders, some of them are wider and some of them are more narrow. So what you'd want to determine is what is your footprint and where do your pages sit when your planner is closed with the rings that came in the planner. And this planner had extra room, so I already knew the 30mm rings, which is almost 1.25", would fit in here just fine. And it's absolutely perfect. I don't have any overhang. I'm able to use the pen loops the same. It works fabulously. So I'm very happy with that. Now I wanted to show really quick before we continue on just a quick difference between A6 rings and personal size rings, because some people think they're the same thing, and there are some things that sell on Amazon that say that they're A6 but they're actually personal size, and that can be confusing. Alright, so this is the A6 size rings that came in the pocket Franklin Covey, and these are personal size rings that came in one of my compact Franklin Coveys. So A6 rings, personal rings. You put them side by side, so you can see the A6 rings are shorter, and you can see the ring/hole configuration is different. While it's still 6 rings, those 6 rings are sitting in different spots. So you cannot interchange personal size and A6 size. So I'm using A6 rings, but it is not an A6 planner. It is smaller than an A6 planner, and it uses smaller pages than A6. But you see, we can use the A6 rings in there because they're so much shorter than personal size. So I thought that was really cool how the Franklin Covey pocket size is using A6 rings. And just as a little comparison, this is Franklin Covey classic size, and you can see their classic size comes with 7 rings. So you have the classic size, you have the compact or personal size, and then you have these tiny A6. So there's some comparisons there. Also, just a quick page comparison. So this is your A7 size paper, and then this is your not A6, this is your Franklin Covey pocket size. So this is Filofax and Moterm pocket size. This is Franklin Covey pocket size. This is shorter and more narrow than personal size, and it's also smaller than A6 size. So if I line them up corner to corner and edge to edge, you can see that the Franklin Covey pocket size is giving you more room, more width, and definitely more height than your A7 pocket size planner. Yet it's still a small planner, fits easily into the purse, and in my opinion is easier to use if you can use it as a wallet, and you can put more in there. And as I just showed you, a lot of them, like the one I got, I know, you can put in the bigger rings. You just need to know where to find them at. Now, another thing I am liking about the Franklin Covey pocket size is if you shop at Dollar Tree, for example, and you look at their like Jot brand of stationery in their office supply section, some of that Jot brand stuff actually fits in here wonderfully. So let me show you a few examples. So this is Jot brand just notepads. And these, if you have a slit in the back of your pocket-sized Franklin Covey planner, you can slide one of these in there and use it as a notepad in the back. And I think this originally came as a 5-pack of notepads, and of course I got it for $1. And it's the same width, it's just a little bit shorter. I think it's about 1 inch shorter. So that I thought was really neat. And then they have these slightly bigger notepads, and you get them in different colored papers, non-lined blank. And this one is not Jot. This one is something else, but this one you can just tear these out and punch them and put them right into your planner with the pocket size, because these are 4 inches by 6 inches. The Franklin Covey pocket size is 3.5 inches by 6 inches, so these are just a 1/2 inch wider, and of course that can be trimmed as well. And this little planner that Dollar Tree sells is also 4 by 6. So if you needed some really cheap yet cute week on 2 pages for your Franklin Covey pocket size, here's a whole year of dated week on 2 pages for $1. So you can just use an X-Acto knife and cut the pages out. You can cut them even a bit more narrow if you want, since this will be a 1/2 inch wider but the proper length. And then you can just punch these and put those in. So I like the versatility of that. Now, another thing that I have in my planner is you can do really cheap filler paper. For example, here is a couple of list pads from Dollar Tree. So it's $1 a list pad. They used to be quite a bit thicker, but I've been using them. And I just take these and I will trace out one of the Franklin Covey pocket size papers on it so that I see the dimensions, and then I'll trim it more narrow and more shorter, and then punch it. And then I have filler paper that's cute and it's cheap. So you're going to see some of this filler paper in my planner. Also, you're going to see a lot of pages that I made myself and printed out and put into my planner. Just to tell you really quick how I did that, my way is probably wasteful, but hey, I'm like doing this once a year, so whatever. But my way is really simple. I will just use Microsoft Word, and I will set the margins on the document to 3 inches on all 4 sides, 3-inch margins on all 4 sides. And then I just go in there and then I just make the pages I want, design them up in Word, and then I'll tell my printer to print them out double-sided. And then that's all I need to do is cut them to the pocket size and punch them, and they go right in. Now I can also, and I've done this with some documents and a few things in here, I'm just turning to my notes to give you the proper answers on this. You can also just make your standard size pages, but then reduce them when you print them to pocket size. So, and I got this from Franklin Covey. If you want to reduce a document to their classic size, that's half letter size, then you reduce it to 64%. If you want to reduce it for their compact size, you reduce it for 56%. To reduce for pocket size, you reduce it to 42%. And I do have some reduced pages in here that I have reduced from printer, and I have some in here that I have reduced using my copy machine on my multifunction printer unit. So we have that. And then another thing I wanted to get into before starting in this are the dividers. I didn't go to crafting stores for the year of 2020 for obvious reasons. So my planner stuff, I got some stuff online, like this is from eBay, and my supplies for my planning and for my setup was largely from Dollar Tree, and then some things from Walmart. But Dollar Tree just has some awesome stuff. Let me show you a few more things. A lot of the Dollar Trees have glitter paper. And this is also by Jot, and it just says glitter paper, but their glitter paper, the backing is sticker paper. So you can use it as glitter paper, or you can peel off the white backing and it is sticky. And I used this in both ways. So I used the glitter paper to make my dividers and to make my front page. So what I did for the dividers is I took the month on 2 pages that are tabbed by Franklin Covey for pocket size, and of course there's 12 of them because there's 12 months, and then I would line 2 tabs together, for example, January and February, and I'd hold those 2 together, and then I would trace them out on the back of the glitter paper with a pencil, but I would trace out the January and February tabs as one longer tab instead of 2 separate tabs. And then I would go ahead and cut it out and laminate it. And this glitter paper laminated still keeps its sparkle. However, the thicker you go with it, or if you put stickers or journaling cards on it before laminating it, then the more chances you're going to have that as you bend it and use it, some air is going to get between the laminate and the glitter paper, because this is textured. And then you're going to have to re-laminate your pages from time to time to keep them looking nice, to just kind of re-adhere the laminate. Now, I wanted thin dividers because I wanted them thick enough to be sturdy and usable, but thin enough to where they're not bulking out my rings. So I just laminated 1 sheet of glitter paper. If you want it double-sided and you want to chance it, you can fold it in half so it's double-sided. I just laminated 1 sheet single-sided, and I didn't put anything on them because I thought the glitter themselves looked great. But for my front page lifter that you'll see in a minute, I used the sticker component. I took off the white sticker paper backing, and then I used the glitter paper and stuck it on one of those just black plastic Franklin Covey page lifters that come in all new Franklin Covey planner binders. And they also came in this unit that I got from eBay. And like I said, I got this in new condition. There's no wear, tear, or marks or anything on it. It's fabulous. It's like someone bought it and then just stored it away until someone decided to sell it, and then I was a lucky person to get it. And if you know the name of this particular Franklin Covey binder, I can't find a name. It's got the compass symbol embossed in the corner, which is really cute, and it has, Franklin Covey made in China embossed on the inside of the back cover, like so many of them do. And it says it is genuine leather. That's embossed on the inside of the back cover, and it definitely feels like it. This planner has such an amazing feel to it, and the leather texture is absolutely gorgeous, so I'm very pleased with it. But I'm just calling it a Franklin Covey pocket-sized turn lock planner because I don't know any other name. So as you look at the tour of this and you see the pocket configuration, if you have one of these and know what the name is, or you've come across this and you know what the name is, please let me know in the comments to this video because I would love to know. But for now, it's the turn lock planner. And no, it is not a 365, and no, this one is not a her point of view, and no, this is not a Boston. All of those I've seen people calling this, and this is definitely none of those 3. Okay, now that we've gone through the details and how I've put a lot of things together, let's get inside this beauty, and I'm going to give you a very detailed tour of how I have it set up. So here she is, this beautiful genuine leather Franklin Covey turn lock planner in the Franklin Covey pocket size, and with the 30mm rings that I have put into it, and it's fabulous. So this planner comes with a pocket on the back, and inside that back pocket I just have deposit slips and withdrawal slips in there for my bank, so when I go to my bank I can just pop one of these out and have it all filled up before I pull up to the window and do my transaction. And that's all I keep in the back pocket. I mean, if I have a small slip of paper or something quick, I might slip it in there, but usually, yeah, that's all I keep back there. Going inside, you turn the turn lock, and then this comes right off. Alright, so the pocket configuration, and this is fabulous, and it comes with 2 pen loops. So here in the front pen loop, actually both pen loops, I have Le Pen pens. So currently in the front pen loop I have a red one, and the back one I have a black one. I'm right-handed, so my main pen loop is the one inside the back cover. And so I do most of my writing in black, but I like to do highlighting and underlining, or writing certain things I want to stand out in the red. This is also a backup pen for me, so if I'm out and about and this one runs out of ink, I can switch to this one and keep on going. And then the pockets. In this side pocket here on the inside of the front cover, I have kind of a little plastic pocket insert thing I've had for years that I keep in my planners, and it just holds some of my cards I like to keep with me, postage stamps, a few checks in case I need to write a check when I'm out. And then also back there I have a black envelope that has white polka dots on it, and that's a sturdy plasticky type. It's like a laminated envelope. And I like to keep that in there too for when I need to keep any little doodads, coupons, or anything like that in there. Then I like to have that envelope in there for that. All right, so we have a windowed ID slot. I just have a piece of paper popped in there because my license is in this window here. And then these two card slots, I have some of my cards. This card slot is my washi tape card. And then this top card slot, I just have, here, I'll show them to you. I just keep, and I do use these, hole reinforcement stickers for if any of my holes rip out, which rarely happens, but it does happen from time to time. In fact, my grocery list page in here, I accidentally pulled on it and ripped out the 3 bottom holes, so I use some of these stickers to fix that. And then I have some Avery labels, and these are good if I make a mistake and I want to cover it over and write over it. I'll use these. These are also great if I have plans, but they're kind of maybe plans, then I'll write it on this. That way if the plan doesn't come to fruition, I can just remove it, or I can move it to the proper day or time slot if it changes. And then I have Avery dots, and I use these to make things stand out, or sometimes to mark a date on my monthly calendar. I'll take one of these and stick it over the number on that one, and then write the number on the sticker, and then next to it write the event or appointment. Then this helps draw my attention to it. So yeah, so right there in the top card slot, that is where I keep my Avery dots, my Avery labels, and my hole reinforcement stickers. Now this is my front dashboard. It's also kind of my welcome page, and it is a front page lifter. This is made from this. This is one of the black plastic thick page lifters that come in Franklin Covey planner binders. They come with 2. They come with one for you to use in the back and one for you to use in the front. And what these do is it helps keep everything together, and also it helps so when you open or when you close your binder, it helps slide everything in there, and it helps prevent the pages after it or back here before it so that they don't curl around the rings. So you don't have those curved pages in the front and the back that are curling around the rings. So page lifters, even though they take up some room in the rings, in my opinion, they are a must. So this front page lifter, I used some of that glitter paper that I showed you. I removed the sticker backing, and I just covered that black page lifter, trimmed off the excess around it, and punched holes in it. And then I just stuck on some stickers and then a little printout of my favorite Bible verse, and then I just covered those over with clear tape so that the edges wouldn't peel up. Nice and simple. Oh, and the glitter on the Dollar Tree glitter paper does not rub off, and as you can see, it is very pretty. So my favorite Bible scripture is Romans 12:2, and all the scriptures in here are from the Young's literal translation. And Romans 12:2 says, "And be not conformed to this age, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, for you're proving what is the will of God, the good and acceptable and perfect." And then on the other side of the page lifter, I have my Christian supplications scriptures, and these scriptures are Mark 11:24, which says, "Because of this I say to you, all whatever praying ye do ask, believe that ye receive, and it shall be to you." Philippians 4:4, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again I will say, rejoice." Philippians 4:6-7, "For nothing be anxious, but in everything by prayer and by supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God that is surpassing all understanding shall guard your hearts and your thoughts in Christ Jesus." Romans 8:28, "And we have known that to those loving God all things do work together for good, to those who are called according to purpose." And then 1 John 3:22-23, which says, "And whatever we may ask, we receive from him, because his commandments we keep, and the things pleasing before him we do. And this is his command, that we may believe in the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, and may love one another, even as he did give command to us." So this is my front page lifter. All right, so then after that, I just have, and this is a case where I did double side laminate some of the glitter paper. So I just I left the sticky backing on it and used it as paper, and I just folded it in half and then cut it out, punched it, and laminated it. And then on the front, I just used some double-sided sticky tape, and I stuck on our current family picture, and we took this on Thanksgiving. So this is very current. And on the other side, I just double-sided sticky taped on a current couple's picture of my husband and I. And this was taken on our 23rd wedding anniversary, which just occurred on November 28th. So then I have those. And then here, this is my running grocery list. All right, so when I run low or out of something, I write it down on this front page. And you recognize this paper. This is some of that list pad paper I showed you that I got from Dollar Tree. I just trimmed it a bit more narrow, trimmed it shorter, punched it, and it goes right in. Filler paper for $1, and it's a whole bunch. So I have several sheets of that up front here. So what I do is, like I said, I have my running list where on this first page here, I write down things that I am low or out of, right? And then the day before I plan to get groceries, I will then turn to one of these blank ones and write out my grocery list. Now, I will look over my menu plan that I make in my home making section that we'll get to in a bit. And I'll also look over my master grocery list that's in my home making section. And then I combine those with what I already have written on my running list. And that helps me make my list. And then I make my list in the order of the aisles at the store of which I shop. So it's a very efficient way to get groceries done quickly so that I can just get it done and get back home. I am an introvert. All right, and then also on this photos page, I have, and this is cute, Avery metallic top tab stuck on there. This is for convenience. So if I just need to open my planner and go to my grocery list, I just grab that tab and flip it, and it brings me right here to my grocery list paper. All right, and then past the grocery list papers, we come to my first main divider, and I told you how I made these dividers. All right, so I ended up with 6 of them because I doubled up tracing the 12-month dividers that had tabs, so that this home divider, this tab was traced from a January and February divider that I held together to trace out this divider. This next tab was traced from the March and April divider that I traced out. So I just traced them out like that, and I cut them out and punched them. And of course I cut them out, laminated and punched them, labeled them with the label maker that you saw me get for Thanksgiving if you saw my Thanksgiving vlog, and ta-da. And yeah, I just made them single-sided, and I laminated these with the size 3 laminating paper as opposed to the size 5, which is thicker, because I wanted it to be more thin and bendy so that it would kind of lay flat in my rings and it wouldn't bulk out my rings. So I have 6 main dividers here. I have home, school, budget, reference, assorted, and planning. So the home section, this is my homemaking section. It's the main brunt of, you could say, my home management binder. All right, so going inside here, my very first page is labeled Daily Chores. These are my daily cleaning chores, but it also contains things like Mondays is when I like to do some work on my blog. Tuesdays is when I like to do some filming or extra filming. Thursdays is when I like to do like budgeting and office work, etc. So I have my cleaning duties here, but also some of my other non-cleaning duties. So these are my daily chores. All right, and then we have the children's cleaning chores over here, Monday through Friday and weekends. And then this is their paid chores tracker, and this is just on a blank sheet of Franklin Covey filler paper. And I just track here any paid chores that they do, and they get marked off as they got paid. And today was their payday, so they got paid for any chores that they still haven't been paid for. So that's why everything's marked off. All right, and then we have the children's table chores, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and weekends for them to help clean up after each meal. And outside of that, these are my deep cleaning and organization projects. And this is part of my master grocery list, and the rest of it is over here. And I just skim through my master grocery list to help me just kind of visualize what I have and what I might be low on. So if it's something that I am out of or low on, but I didn't get around to writing on my front grocery list paper, then just skimming through this kind of jogs my memory. So I skim through that as I'm making my list. And then here is my menu plan. I make a menu plan for each week: breakfast, lunch, and supper. And in helping me make my menu plan, I have a list of breakfast ideas and lunch ideas and supper ideas. And breakfast, lunch, and supper ideas also contain suggested sides to go with their main dishes. All right, and then I have my Thanksgiving and New Year's menus because those are the holidays that we have feasts for, and I almost always host, so these are their menus. And then after this, you'll see, oh, by the way, I have a little top flag sticking up on to show you really quick on my master grocery list. You might have seen that. The point of that is so that it sticks up at the top, so if I want to turn quickly to my menu for the week, I just grab that flag and it turns me to the menu. Okay, and then after that, we come to my pink pages, all right? And then you see I have a little flag sticking off to the side to help me turn to this quickly. This is to my recipes section. In my recipes, the pages are numbered, and I don't have them in any particular order other than in sections. And so my table of contents to my recipes are for the just for the sections. All right, so I have my quick go-tos. That start on page 1. Breads and breakfasts start on page 3. My main meal start on page 8. Sides start on page 22. Baking starts on page 23. And special starts on page 26. So this is an example of what the recipe pages look like. And then after the recipe pages, we come to this page. And you see I have this gold tab sticking out on the top. This is to help me turn to this quickly when I need it. And these are the Franklin Covey foodie inserts minus their menu grocery list pages. I don't need those. But this is the information ones. I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but at the very bottom above my thumb, it'll say classic because at least when I purchased them, they were only available in classic size. As far as I know, they're still only available in classic size. That's half letter size. So I purchased the classic size, but then I used my printer's copy machine function to reduce these and copy them out double-sided and reduced so that they'd fit inside my pocket-sized planner. And it took a little bit of trial and error, but I got it to go. So this is the food glossary. And then there's measurements, baking pan conversions and ingredient substitutions, guide to fresh herbs, flavoring with spices, how to stock your fridge, organize your pantry, how to use a chef's knife, knife cuts, meat cuts, marinating times, canning and altitude charts, and water bath versus pressure canning. So this is information that I am just tickled to have in my planner and that I do reference. So it's nice I can turn here instead of going onto my phone and asking Google Girl. All right, so this brings me to my next divider, which is labeled school, because this is my homeschool section. I am a homeschooling mother of 4, and my first 2 children are adults. They were homeschooled all the way through. My other 2 children are almost adults. They are currently in homeschool high school, and they are being homeschooled all the way through as well. And all 4 of my children were and are homeschooled via the Trivium method. So if you're looking into homeschool methods, there is one for you to research and see if that's right for you and your family. The Trivium method's been perfect for my family. So this is my homeschooling section. So we have my homeschool schedule for the 2020-2021 homeschool. And so this is our main schedule. After this is our homeschool curriculum chart. Goes over the subjects, when, and then books and info that goes with each subject. We have their reading lists, their copy work assignments, continues on the next page. Then I have our Monday's school, Tuesday's school, or Wednesday's school, and Thursday's school, and then I just have some blank paper, and that concludes the homeschool section, nice and simple. And my third section is labeled budget, and that's pretty self-explanatory. It is my budget section. So the first page of my budget section is my budget guide, and I have that anonymized, but it lists which reoccurring expenses and bills occur on which paychecks throughout the month. So I reference this when going over my budget. And the pages I use for budgeting are just blank filler paper. I write the date of the check I'm budgeting at the top. I write down the reoccurring expenses for that check. I look at my monthly calendar to see what's coming up for that week, and then I'll write down any expenses for that, and then I just track my totals of what's in the bank, what we need, what's left over, etc. on blank paper. So the next divider is labeled reference, and I have something private there. And all the pages in my references section are numbered. So here's my table of contents. We have gift ideas, kids grocery week checklist, stock list, perpetual calendar, codes and family information, directions, contacts, and food. And most of this stuff is the stuff that I just printed out using Microsoft Word, but some of them are inserts that I'm using. So I just have some of these marked to show you. For example, this is Franklin Covey's Special Days insert, and this also comes in their starter pack, and so I use this for my perpetual calendar. And this one is their website tracker insert, and this is the blank side of a back page of that one. This also you can get from the Franklin Covey's starter pack as well for the website tracking. And then this is their phone and address insert, and this is the back of the last page of it so that you can keep phone numbers and addresses. And that is my reference section. So my next divider is labeled assorted, and it's like it said, it is assorted. So the first page in assorted is the planner quick start guide that came with my Franklin Covey inserts that I'm using. And then the page, and then behind that we have the productivity pyramid. And then we have a page of weights and measurements, kitchen measurements, temperatures, conversion table, etc. And then a time zone map on the back. And this page is also from the Franklin Covey starter set. And then I have brain dump info and temporary projects, things I'm working on, etc. And then after that I have filler paper. I have some blank filler paper. I have some trimmed down list pad filler paper. So when I need more paper anywhere in my planner, I come to the back of my assorted section to grab some more. All right, and also, this is supposed to be in the very back. Let's move that. Some of my filler paper is slightly out of order. There we go. So the very back page of my filler paper is actually one of those cardboard backings that comes with Franklin Covey inserts. And I keep this in here because this is what I use to trace out pages that I'm cutting out to put in here. I'll trace them out with this, and then I have the template of the holes to mark it. Because I just use a single hole punch. But I use a crocodile single hole punch so I can punch up to 20 sheets of paper at a time. So this is my little template for cutting out and punching pages for my planner. So we come to my last main homemade divider, which is planning. So this is where I have my planning stuff, okay? So the first page in here is the first page for my inserts that I'm using this year, and I'm using the Franklin Covey Blooms in the pocket size, day on 2 pages. And then on the other side of that, we have years at a glance for 2021 and 2022. Now, I have month on 2 pages in here, and they're tabbed. You can see the January tab here, for example. And I have the whole year of 2021 month on 2 pages in here. And then I have 1 month. I keep 1 month at a time of day on 2 pages in here. So this is January. So I have all of January day on 2 pages in here. When January ends, I'll remove the January day on 2 pages, but I'll keep the January tab. But then I will go to the February tab. And then I'll add in my February day on 2 pages behind the February tab. So the months stay in for the whole year. But the days come out each month, as in then the next month's days get put in. All right. So here is the January one. And you can see the front of the divider on the months. It says, index important information. Record on this month's daily or weekly notes. All right. Now, you have this same page on the front of your monthly day on 2 pages. See, so here's the front of the day on 2 pages. It says index important information recorded on this month's daily notes. Okay, so these are both the same page. So what you do is if you have some notes or something important that you've written down on the notes of your day on 2 pages and you need to file it for a future reference, then you would write down the date that that note is written on, and then just a little note of what it is so that you can look it up. And you'd write it on the front of your month on 2 pages, but you'd also write it on the front of your day on 2 pages, so that as you keep your months in your planner, you'll have a little record here, but as you take out your days and put them in your storage binder, you're also going to have a record of them in there. So that's why it seems a bit redundant, but you can see its usefulness in that it's handy redundancy. And then the month on 2 pages looks like this. So I'm going to turn to a blank one so you can better see it. So here's the month on 2 pages. And then I like the handy notes column off to the side. Alright, and then after that I have my page marker. So here is today. And then here's the second page for today. All right, and then my page finder, this is a Franklin Covey Compass page finder. This is our older style before they switched to the newer style. So you see it sticks out and it's flat on top instead of kind of humping out on one side and going in. Because the pocket size, the older Compass page finders, the little plastic pocket on the front goes out a bit wider and holds stuff better. Because the Franklin Covey Compass page finders, you have this little plastic flap so you can stick things inside the page finder. And this is one of the Compass cards that comes for going in here. I just folded it in half so the notes section is sticking out on both sides and stuck my own stuff on here. So I don't use the official Compass cards to go with that system, but if you want Compass cards to go with their system, it comes in their starter pack, or you can order them individually from the website. And then I just have some things here that I made with my label maker for my main daily stuff. And then back here's just some cute stickers and stuff. All right, and then this is my master schedule. It's broken down into time blocks throughout the day. I have morning, late morning and afternoon, late afternoon, evening, and before bed. And then I keep a little stick-on page tab up here just because it makes it easier to turn it. Instead of trying to find the edge to turn this page, I can just grab that and turn it. And that's helpful. So when I'm going between page 1 and page 2 for my day, it's easier to just grab that and flip it over. So turning to blank down 2 pages, let me show you this. This is really cute. So you have, of course, the day and the date over here. You have a month at a glance calendar here. And in this top section, this is your prioritized daily task list. All right, so this is where you write your tasks or your to-dos. And don't worry about putting them in order, which is hard to do because as things come to you, you're just going to have to write it on the next line. So what you do is after you have your tasks written down, then this is the priority column. All right, you write the letter A if it must be done that day. You write the letter B if it should be done that day. And you write the letter C if it could be done that day. Then you make sure you get your A tasks done first. If those are all done and you have time, then do your B tasks. If those are all done and you still have time, then congratulations, you can now move on to your C tasks. This way you are getting the most important things done each day that absolutely must be done, and then extra. So that's fabulous. All right, and then this column over here, this is your marking column or your bullet column. And at the top here is a little bullet key, a suggested bullet key. So it says a check mark for your completed tasks, a little arrow pointing it for tasks that you're forwarding to a future date. And if you're going to forward something, don't forget to write that on the day or date you're forwarding it to so that task doesn't get lost. An X for a deleted or canceled item. And then a little letter with a circle and a check here for something you've delegated to someone else. So the letter might be the letter for their first name. And then you have this nice thick dot here if it's something in process. If it's something that, well, it's going to take you more than a day to finish, but you're working on it. So make sure your dots and arrows get forwarded to the next day or the appropriate time so that they don't get lost and those tasks still get done. Now down here is the appointment schedule. So you can see we have timed slots here. All right, and so what I use this for is I have my master schedule, but if I have a day where I can't follow my master schedule, then I'll write out the schedule for that day down here. Otherwise, what I use it for is timed events. Get written down here. Appointments, but also timed events that need to happen at a certain time during the day. All right, and then the second page, you always get a quote up here, and then your day and your date and whatnot here, and it says daily notes in this top part. And then you have this column here that can be used to write dates or to do check marks or bullets or to ignore. And so you write your daily notes here, whatever you need to write here. There could be meeting notes if you have a meeting. This could be where you write down someone's email address or phone number or an address for something you need to handle that day. This could be a note that you need to keep record of that you're going to file on your monthly file page and on your daily section filing page. What I like to use it for is I write the meals that I have planned for the day. I'll write my cleaning chores for the day. I'll write the kids' cleaning chores for the day. And then I will leave myself some room at the bottom here of the notes section for anything else, food journaling or anything else I need to scribble down for the day. All right. Then down here is the daily tracker. And then it says track expenses, email, voicemail, or other information. And yeah, I generally track projects, health, expenses, and various things here. And I track something every single day, usually 3 or 4 things at least. So I do daily tracking, so I enjoy that there is a tracking section. So you see you have your daily tasks, your appointment schedule, your notes, and your tracker. So the day on 2 pages is fabulous. And you see with the blooms, it's not just a blank, boring white paper. You got pretty script font. You have watermarked flowers. So I love it. It's not boring. All right. So now moving past all of the calendars and planning pages, we come to a piece of paper. This is a piece of lined blooms paper, and I labeled it Future Planning 2022 Plus. And I do have some stuff here. That's why I have sticky notes on here anonymizing it. All right, and then after that, oh, by the way, if you buy the inserts, it comes with future planning pages for up to, I think, 5 years out. I just don't use them because it takes up more room in the rings. All right, then you have the back page lifter. I have labels and flags of certain reoccurring events that sometimes I will use, and then I'll take them and I'll stick them on the appropriate time slot on my master schedule. And most of these labels are very old. The stickiness is impressive. I'm able to use them and reuse them, though we're talking years old. And then on the back, just some extra blank labels, tabs, flags, whatever you need to use them for. And then the back pockets in this planner are spectacular. So you have this side pocket. I keep a bit of spending cash in there. And then you have a hidden zip pocket right there. And I keep some change in there. And then, of course, you come to your back pen loop. So this was a very detailed tour of my planner, including the first part of this video telling you all about how I made what I made, showing you some comparisons. Hopefully you understand now, what Franklin Covey pocket size is versus what a lot of other planner companies' pocket size is. And I urge you and encourage you, if you're looking for a nice, small, functional, roomy ring planner, go ahead and go to franklinplanner.com and take a look at their pocket size binders. And you can also look on eBay. I've gotten two pocket sizes off of eBay, and I've also purchased 3 pocket sizes through Franklin Covey. You can also get pocket size Franklin Covey planners on Amazon.com as well. And this concludes my detailed 2021 setup. I hope it blessed you, encouraged you, or helped you in some way, or helped give you some ideas, or that you at least enjoyed it. I know I love watching planner tours. Have a blessed day.